Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this is Jamie Lewis. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm on the political compass. I fall in line with the libertarian centrist area down here, all right? So I pretty much get along with everybody. You know what I mean? I can see all your points of view, whether you're on the right, authoritarian left, libertarian right, or libertarian left. You know, let's just talk about it, all right? So today, of course, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about, I don't know if you've seen this video, if you've been hiding under a rock somewhere. This video came out in the Epstein files. It's an interview where Steve Bannon interviewed Jeffrey Epstein, and it is mind-blowing, all right? You've probably seen snippets here and there. You know, if you just started seeing it, it just came out yesterday or something like that, but basically, if you haven't seen it, you're missing a lot. And, you know, this spoiler alert, okay? He admits that he's basically in the Illuminati, and he explains it. He explains how he was brought into the Illuminati by David Rockefeller, all right? Trilateral Commission. He explains a lot of different things. Like he explains how Bill Clinton caused the subprime mortgage crisis. He uses a ton of analogies having to do with, like, for instance, the financial system is a living in you know, the heart is beating and it's like an actual living being. The financial system is a living being, and doctors had to do surgery on it, and that's why we bailed everyone out, you know, and talks about everything. Bannon just gets straight to the point. Did a pretty good job of, like, asking all of these questions that I don't think we've ever seen anyone ask anyone like this ever. Also, I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but he's exposed at, like, having zero fear, empathy, a total psychopathy. And one of the areas in this video is when he says, Bannon asks him, he's like, you know, when you were sitting in jail for the first time in 2008, because this is when this interview happened, he says, were you upset? Like, were you like, how did I end up in here?
Did it strike you at the time of the mess you had made of your life to be in a situation that you're one of the greatest financial minds in the world, looked at by world leaders and asked their, you know, your thinking by the most prominent and important people in the world? And here you are in solitary confinement. You got to make a collect call to somebody. Did it strike you at the time how all the threads of your life had come together and put you in a position, or you had put yourself in that position?
No.
So it never struck you when you had to make a one of your 50% of your collect calls that day, you call the president or the head of the CEO of Bear Stearns. The biggest financial event in your life is taking place, of which, one, every important person in the world would be seeking your opinion. Number two would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to apply your craft. Number three, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make money if you were smart, and obviously you're smart. You're telling me here, truthfully, that it never hit you at all of how you'd ended up in a place where you had to make a collect phone call from a jail cell that was 6x9 with a steel bed and your food being passed into a slot.
The question you want to ask is, who was the other call to?
Okay.
See, look at this guy. So basically, he ends up saying he doesn't get depressed. He actually, in his own words, he had said that he was just like, isn't this weird? He's like, oh, isn't that something? He kind of had that type of reaction to him being in jail. It wasn't fear. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't upset. He wasn't worried. He just, he was kind of like.
The other call was to my friend at JP Morgan, who was then, I didn't know it at the time, trying to buy Bear Stearns. So at one point, I had two phones. It was difficult because they're afraid people are going to hang themselves with the phone cord. So they don't actually come together and they're pretty short. So I was actually going between two phones talking to Bear Stearns and JP Morgan at the same time. So I found it amusing.
He thought that was amusing, right? You see where this is going?
It never struck you about how to end up in a situation like this?
No, that would be probably means I would be too self-aware.
You can't possibly expect me to believe this.
I know. I don't believe it.
It's no, it
Even
can't, it can't be, it can't. You're telling me that during that day, you never had a moment. You sat there and go,
Jamie,
what
I can't
the
hear
fuck
him
have
very
I done with
well.
my life?
Really
I'm in a
low.
6x9 jail cell when I should be on a trading desk, or I should be in my $250 million, greatest townhouse in New York City, taking calls from the king of Saudi Arabia, the president of China, the head of Russia, the president of the United States, to save the world's population from a financial debacle. You honestly expect me to believe that that never happened?
You're suggesting I was sort of somewhat depressed, and how could this happen to me?
I'm not saying depressed. I'm saying a moment of awareness of how could I get myself into this situation.
No, I would just say how strange that this happens. Just, it's strange. I'm wearing a jumpsuit and flip-flops.
What
given
color
to
was
me,
the jumpsuit?
Brown.
Ridiculous interview. He basically says, isn't that how strange is this? That you know what I mean? Crazy shit. Very revealing, very very insane. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to share this with you. And remember, come to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because we're always going to be going over the newest things that happen. They're going to be, happen right as I post, pretty much. All right. So make sure to tune in, and let's kick some butt. All right. See you in a bit.